Do you know what percent of economic benefits the semiconductor industry keeps from its contribution to improved performance, productivity, and cost-effectiveness each year? Click on your answer. 3.2% is the correct answer. The semiconductor industry is unique. For half a century, this business has delivered huge gains in performance, productivity, and cost-effectiveness year over year. But these financial returns are completely offset by steep price declines. Users keep getting more and more performance, but they pay about the same amount every year, no matter how much performance increases. Thank you, competition. Of the 25% in benefits that the semiconductor market provides the world, it gets to keep about 3.2%, which shows up as revenue growth. The rest of the benefits end up in the pockets of downstream users, end consumers and system makers who are more adept at capturing the benefits they create. And sometimes it flows through to their customers. It's one of the most transformative industries ever invented. And invented is the operative word. To remain competitive in such a quickly evolving, technically driven, cost-sensitive marketplace requires attention to customer details, business agility, and technical innovation that delivers device performance and yield at a tool cost that differentiates a supplier from competitors. At Applied Materials, we are ramping up our customer, business, and technical skills to assure our competitiveness for years to come. And we're doing this through business processes that drive discipline in market and customer analysis, product development, manufacturing, and service and support operations. We believe the key to our long-term success is how we think about customers and the problems they're trying to solve. So we're focusing our thinking on the identification and solving of high-value problems, HVPs. These are the hard problems that need to be solved. They are the opposite of the low-hanging fruit variety problems that make for quick, easy wins, but consume precious human and technical resources without significant return on investments. When we become consistent in solving HVPs, we become trusted partners and win long-term customer loyalty along with market share. Our future is bright with opportunities in each of our business sectors: solar, display, and silicon. And this course explores a key business process for achieving market success: the Product Development Engine Framework. As a customer-facing employee for Applied Materials, you interact with customers on a daily basis. You play a key role in uncovering, identifying, communicating, and ultimately resolving their high-value problems. And it is your understanding of this business process that will foster your value as a partner for associates, customers, and stockholders. Once we all become expert at using the skills associated with discovering and solving high-value problems, our competitive value will improve, and we will achieve ever greater market success. The PDE framework supports our key business processes like the customer engagement engine, the product lifecycle, the scorecard, and monthly and quarterly operational reports. So the work you do for the PDE is directly transferable to other business processes. Using your time efficiently is how we improve our operating rhythm. Getting focused on the right work, at the right time, with the right resources, so we complete the work the right way the first time. This is how we will all achieve the success we are capable of. The PDE framework and this training is arranged in 3 modules. Environment and segmentation. What are the high-value problems that we're going to solve? Technology and architecture strategy. What DVS solutions are we going to develop? And product and business strategy. How do we maximize profitability and accelerate time to market and money? There are 16 activities in the PDE framework, discussion nodes, that guide the right discussions in the right sequence to assure that the best wisdom and expertise is applied to our product development process. Innovation starts with the customer, and by understanding their business, we are positioned to be their trusted partner. Our success depends on delivering products that differentiate us from the competition, add value, and sustain our competitive advantage. The price of a tool is dependent on the value that customers perceive, and the PDE gives us the information we need to differentiate our product capabilities and make our case for premium pricing. This strategy will sustain the continuing growth of Applied. Sharing our roadmaps and process modeling options is a good way of getting the customer to talk about their roadmaps and high-value problems. These customer conversations are an opportunity to validate our assumptions. By asking a customer to pick from a few process flows we've modeled, you have a better chance of getting them to reveal how they are thinking about their process and where they see differences and where the problems might arise. It is an excellent way to validate our assumptions. Any employee who engages a customer or our product development teams plays a part in identifying HVPs. From technology engineers to applications to field and executives, each role owns a key part in engaging customers and industry associates in conversations that reveal HVP opportunities for Applied. Consider the relative metrics that customers use for value. If you have a $1 better cost of ownership compared to the competition, the fab will save $1.2 million over the entire year of using your tool. But if you have better yield, 1/4 to 0.5% yield, you start making millions of dollars or more because you yield more shippable units per wafer. This is additional product that they can sell to their customers and generate more revenue and more profit. Performance could be millions and perhaps billions of dollars in value. As an example, look at two competitors in the microprocessor space, Intel and AMD. Intel is pretty much differentiated and has made its own market share of around 80% by making chips that have better performance. Intel cares more about device performance because they know that these chips hold up to their name, Intel Inside. Everybody wants to buy things that have Intel inside, right? Contrast that value with AMD, who wants to get high-yielding chips out faster before the price erodes. AMD wants to come out first so they can capture market share. As soon as Intel comes out with faster chips, AMD will drop their price to stay competitive. They know that when you look at performance and reliability, Intel has better chips. Segmenting markets can be done on a high or detailed level, depending on what you are trying to understand. Let's examine how one segments on a high level. We'll use the electronics industry as an example. The total available market for semiconductor devices and systems is estimated to be a $300 billion industry. The display TAM adds another $50 billion plus to the devices and systems market. Solar TAM, another $50 billion. So the total available market for all devices and systems is $400 billion. Do the same TAM calculations for other electronics industry segments, such as materials and equipment, and then sub-segment them by sectors. These represent the TAM for an industry with subsectors segmented. When you start defining the revenues opportunity available to all potential suppliers in each sector, you are getting closer to the detailed level and defining the served available market. SAM. A scorecard is a method for determining which attributes are most important in making a purchase. For instance, if you're buying a house, you have a list of attributes you want. 3 bedrooms, single floor, a good school district, maybe a big yard and a pool, energy-efficient windows and roof, modern appliances, close to grocery and retail shopping, nearby public transportation, a particular price range you can afford, low property taxes, and mortgage terms you can handle. Your list could be rather long, but in the end, you usually have 3 or 4 attributes that account for 50% of the value you seek. Don't satisfy those 3 or 4 attributes, and you keep looking. These are the deal breakers. Our scorecards serve the same analytic purpose. We create them for big expense purchases from suppliers, and our customers do it for their purchases with us. And we create scorecards on our own products to try and mimic what our customers are doing when they score us. This is how we assess the differentiation of our products and best position ourselves to be differentiated, valuable, and sustainable. There will be lots of scorecards since we do this when segmenting to unique characteristics. There are many ways to visualize the data you created in the scorecard, and one powerful output of your data is presented in bubble charts. They are a visual way of summarizing the complex information that scorecards contain. In this example, we compare performance versus total cost of ownership. Overall performance and total cost of ownership per wafer is on the y-axis, and total cost of ownership includes the price paid for the tool, plus the cost to install and operate. And in this example, performance is directly translatable to the perceived benefit that the customer gets. So performance or benefit versus cost for each competitor. The customer will be attracted to those solutions that offer the highest level of performance for the lowest cost. The size of the bubble reflects the estimated gross margin for the applied product, as well as for our competitors. The competitor estimates come from our red team analysis. The green bubble is smaller, with a gross margin of 30%. You put these ideas together, and you can see that green is offering a high level of performance for a lower cost, and that its gross margin is lower. That correlates. Remember, these are estimates, not actual data. These estimates are produced by the analysis done using the PDE framework for our product and what our red teams have done for competitor products. Product validation requires some cleverness in how customers are engaged to reveal their value of various feature sets. Imagine the product is a completely automated donut-making machine. The goal of the product validation activity is to answer customer perspectives about value, the trade-offs between architectural questions and ROI before we build this machine product. We start with a conversation with the customer to learn what HVP solution they're interested in and gather details about all the features and benefits they imagine for their dream machine. It is likely to be an overly complete and expensive solution that will be a long time in development. So, we develop a concept product, a prototype, that is inexpensive, has less than the minimum feature set, and will be quick to make and deliver. This model is designed to test the customer's values and what trade-offs they are willing to make to achieve the minimum feature set required to solve their future HVP. From this customer discussion, we learn their trade-offs of value against features, and we can better triangulate and define a minimum viable product. This is the product that sits between an inexpensive, quick delivery solution and a dream product that would be expensive and slow to deliver. It's a solution for the customer's high-value problem, and it's a high value for us to solve the problem. Both of these things have to be true in order for us to invest in the development of this machine. Every time we solve a customer problem, we are confronted with some challenging questions about how to price our product. What share of the profit pie will we keep, and how much should we share with the customer? Determining price starts with defining value. Only then are we in a position to understand the customer's cost-benefit perspective, and then constructing the value proposition that will make our price most attractive to the largest number of customers at the right point in time. The goal is to capture as much of the value as the market will allow. So a perspective on the market segment being targeted is important to understand what value exists. And a look at the market ecosystem, where our product as an enabling tool begins to reveal the value chain. When you look downstream from our product and note the values that semiconductor, systems, and application segments leverage off of it, you can see that their revenue and profit share is significant. The total value chain in this business sector is around $700 billion. In 2013, there was $27 billion of wafer fab equipment purchased, and the operating profit of all the companies in our equipment market segment was $4 billion. That accounted for just 2.1% of the $185 billion in profits for the entire business ecosystem. A 2% profit of the total value chain is small and suggests that Applied can do better at capturing more of the value we create for downstream buyers. Here is a typical marketing plan. In the beginning, you had to decide who gets the product first. How did you determine the customer selection? Some good strategic considerations would be, which customer is the market leader? Placing a product with this customer would attract the attention of its competitors, who are likely to follow its lead. Another factor is who can best provide an environment where we can partner to confirm our value proposition. The answer to who gets the product first is dependent on information you need about who will be ramping when you bring your product to market. You want to map the introduction plan to the customer's or segment's event calendar. Validating the DPY and value proposition early gives Applied critical information to either maximize its value pricing or an opportunity to identify and refine weaknesses.